Have you ever thought about how a product's name influences your purchase decision? Kibble manufacturers like to use fancy names to make you favor their product, when in reality, it's not that special. But what do these product claims mean? Let's go over the true definition of the most common labels. The first rule is called the 95% rule. Names such as beef for dogs or tuna for cats have to have at least 95% of the named ingredient in the product. And this is not counting water for processing or any other added ingredients. With added water for manufacturing, the named ingredient only needs to comprise of 70% of the final product. Usually in this case, water is named right after the named ingredient. If there's a combination of ingredients such as chicken and liver dog food, then the two ingredients must create 95% of the product together. And the first name ingredient out of the two must make up the majority, so chicken would have to make up more than the liver. Next is the 25% rule or dinner rule, and this applies to the majority of kibble and canned products. The product would have to have at least 25% of the named product, not including water for processing. Most commonly it's described as dinner, but it can also be seen described as platter, entree, nuggets, or formula. So a food named beef dinner for dogs would contain 1/4 beef. And including added water, the named ingredient must create 10% of the whole product. There's a combination of two ingredients for the 25% rule, such as chicken and fish dinner cat food. It must have a minimum of 25% chicken and fish together and a minimum of 3% fish since it's the second named ingredient. The 3% or with rule highlights certain minor ingredients. A beef dinner with cheese would contain minimum 25% beef and minimum 3% cheese. But this with rule also can be added just simply as the label. A food labeled dog food with beef would only contain up to 3% beef. The last rule is the flavor rule, where a specific percentage is not required. The ingredient merely needs to be detected by an animal trained to the specific flavor. In beef flavored dog food, you would assume the corresponding ingredient that would be detected was beef, but it can be beef meal or beef byproducts, and as mentioned before, merely needs to be detected. And a subcategory of the flavor rule is digest. Digest is defined as materials treated with heat, enzymes, and or acids to form concentrated natural flavors. And only a teeny amount of digest would need to be added for the flavor to be detectable. So if something is labeled chicken flavor, but they're utilizing chicken digest, the product probably doesn't even have actual chicken in it because it only needs to be detected, not actual any percent needs to be added. It's important to highlight just how sneaky and important food labels are. Even a minor word change can have a dramatic impact. A food labeled tuna cat food would have minimum 95% meat, while cat food with tuna would have only up to 3%. This is why not only reading the labels, but the ingredient label is so vital. As dedicated, empowered, and passionate pet owners, we have a right and responsibility to know what we're feeding our animals. It can be hard to look past all the marketing gimmicks, but stay curious, ask all the questions, and when in doubt, reach out to the manufacturer. If you get a sketchy response, run. As always, I hope you learned something new today, and always keep exploring.